Hey, so this time I want to talk about the first time I ever skipped school, and it kind of led to me wanting to do it again just because. And it's like we're sitting at lunch in the lunchroom, and I got my group of friends, of course. I'm not sitting by myself or anything. And I say around this time, like your friend group really depended on who you had lunch with. Like that's who you talked to the most, and that's who you connected with a lot of the time outside of class. Like, you might have someone you're cool with in class, but generally you wouldn't have like one of your best friends in class. So this is like recess, bro. It's the best time there is. And I'm with my friends Zach and Mason, and probably a few others, but I don't really remember. I just know that like Mason's girlfriend would come and like argue with him at lunch and shit sometimes, so it made it really memorable for me. And like I was gonna do code names like 2 years ago. I felt the need to do code names, and now it's like I don't need to hide anybody's name. It's it's shit we've done in the past. It's not like anything gonna catch up to you. I mean, you just do stupid shit. Everybody does something dumb. It's sometime in their life. You're just having fun, doing what you do. And it's like we didn't wanna skip school. It was like we're all complaining. We're like, we don't want to go to our next class. Our next class sucks so much. Like this teacher's full of shit. We don't want to listen to them for the rest of the day. And I'm like, hey, I have an Applebee's gift card. It's like let's go eat at Applebee's. Lunch was shit today. None of us really ate it anyways. And they're like, okay, how are we gonna do it? Like we had to have a good plan, and they're hard to convince because they weren't just about to go out of their way and risk whatever comes with skipping school. We didn't know. And let me think here. It's like we finally come up with a plan. Everybody lines up usually. Like sometimes like you're ready to go and you're ready to leave lunch, so everyone's like, as soon as that bell rings or as soon as the teachers dismiss you, everyone gets up and everyone goes out the lunchroom. And I'm like, let's all three of us go. The bathrooms are right there past this line where you're not supposed to cross. You get in trouble for passing it. And if you go into the bathroom, it's different. Like of course you can go whenever you need to go. So like my one friend go to the bathroom, whatever, I take a drink of water. We know the bell's ringing in the next like 30 seconds. So we're all three ahead of everyone else. And so we start going, and we got the plan in our heads. We know where we're going. We know which doors we're headed out. And it's like the bell rings and it's us three side by side and we're speed walking. Like the crowd, we go around the corner, we get like halfway down through, and I take a look back and check out the crowd is just now turning the corner. So we're like already halfway there. And I think one of us might have had a class in the Votech, so it's like a separate part of the school. You have to go through separate doors. And that was our plan. Like we've heard of people doing this all the time. We're like, okay, they do this and they don't get caught, whatever. So we go and we're way ahead of everyone else. Like the teachers are watching the kids. So we're going, we go out the doors, and immediately right to the left is a door that you can leave out of. But I mean, nobody really does very often because you have the risk of getting caught. So we walk out the doors, and instead of just walking and like making it look like we had the class or whatever to where we could leave, we all take off running. We're all sprinting now. We're juniors too. We're sprinting, like running across the parking lot. And the counselor's office is right there, and that's where I kind of think we got caught from. But it's like we sprint out, like adrenaline's going. It's shit's crazy. And we get in the car, and my heart's beating, I'm like shaking. And we're all like, holy fuck, we got out of there. So we go, and I just remember it being like the most crazy experience. It was like, just, you can't get that feeling anywhere else. And it's like, we pull out of the parking lot, we go to Applebee's, we sit down, get our food, whatever. I pay for all of us because I had a gift card. And then like Zach's like, I know that teacher. It's like, dude, that's a teacher right there. And like the person walks past us and I'm like, I don't know that person whatsoever. There's no way he could be a teacher. It's like, I promise I had him. Like he's a teacher. Whatever. It could have been a girl. I don't know. But he's like paranoid now. And now I'm like, I have to be the person to reason. I have to be like, well, no, that's not it. It couldn't be. There's no way. We're fine. We already made it out of school. We aren't gonna get in trouble. And we get back to my house. We're all three just chilling in my house, and we're like, fuck, what do we do now? We're like, we shouldn't have left. We should have left school. And I can't remember whose parents called first. Someone's parents called, and I think it must have been Mason because he had to leave, and he's like, dude, they want us to go back to school. I'm not going back to school. I'm just going home. So he went back home, and then it's me and Zach, and wait, we all came in my car. So I don't know how. Like his mom must have came and picked him up. He had to have been something like that. But his mom was like kind of reasonable about it. Like she didn't freak out. Like I knew my parents were gonna overreact. I don't know about my friend Zach's parents, but so now we're sitting here and I'm waiting. I'm like, my dad's about to call me. Like we're all paranoid. We don't know what's about to happen. And like I get the call from my dad. He's pissed. He's like, you better go back to school right now. Going up. It was on a Friday. He's like, going up to it. Go do this. Just talk to the principal. You aren't gonna get in that much trouble. It's whatever. You got to go back. And I have to convince Zach to go back with me because I don't want to go alone. I don't want to walk back into school and talk to the principal. I haven't ever been to the office. I've had like one lunch detention. I just do my work and stay quiet most of the time. Talk to my friends if I would be lucky enough to have a friend in the class or someone at school. So I go back and the principal is really cool about it. He's like, I understand. Like he asked us what our reason for leaving was. It was me and Zach in there, and like it was kind of cool and just like a funny environment. But we did end up getting 2 days of after school detention. All three of us had to go. So I had no clue what that was gonna be like. I don't think there was really any other consequence. That must have been it. I don't think anything else happened to us. But the after school did suck. It really did suck. And it was with the gym teacher who, for whatever reason, I feel like he just had it out for me. I didn't do anything or whatever, but I was probably a dickhead. I don't know how else to put it, but it's like he just had it out to me. But he liked Zach for whatever reason. And we had gym class together too. So during the same period of time, like he knew like he was our gym teacher and he was the after school guy at this time when we had it. But it was a hard after school. Like he took it rough on us. And whatever, you just sat there for like 30 minutes to an hour after school and did nothing. I think you just had to stay silent or do any homework that you had. So like I probably saved homework so I had something to do and wasn't just bored out of my mind. But then we had to go in the courtyard. And in our courtyard, there's all these bushes. Like the whole courtyard's full of bushes. And like people during lunch used to be able to eat outside in the courtyard, and I guess they would throw trash and whatever else they had just in the bushes. Like people would chew, so it'd be chew spit and chew, fucking whatever else, probably cigarettes. I don't fucking know. And he would pick up the bushes, and we had to clean all the trash out of it and put it in trash bags. I kid you not, like every bush in those 2 days, we had to clean the trash out of them. It was such a good experience. It was so worth skipping school. So there was one other consequence that really, really sucked. And it was me, all on me. The other two didn't get anything extra. But it's like I had the car, so I was the most at fault. And they took my permit to drive and come to school for the remainder of the year until like the last week or 2 weeks, which was really shitty. Like I had to bum rides, and I probably rode the bus a time or two and then realized like how bad it sucked to ride the bus. Or I'd already known. I probably already knew how fucking shitty the bus was. The bus, oh my God. People were just so ignorant on the bus. And it's like I didn't want to deal with that at all. So I just bum rides. Luckily I had friends who would take me home. But not having a car and having to ride the bus or however else you get home, I couldn't even imagine. That shit would suck. But I had a job the whole time and I always had to pay car insurance. Like the deal was if I would drive, I had to pay my own car insurance, which wasn't too much. I still got to pocket some money. And like I was getting into Supreme and stuff, so I was reselling Supreme, like shoes, doing what I could with my money to try and make out. But it really was tough. It didn't work out too well for me, but I didn't really take too much of a commitment for it.